All right, Shalom. Want to start by saying, Kahal, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, KAKADASH. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick, I'll make this real quick. Got this article, and we're going to do a couple scriptures. And basically, as the title reads, it says Iran warns they have 1 million soldiers ready to fight the U.S. All right, now I just came across this, and I think this is today, because I remember hearing about this yesterday. All right, because you have America keep talking about doing a ground invasion over there, sending troops actually into the land of Iran. All right, remember with the Iranian dude said, I don't know his actual title, but one of the Iranian officials, he basically said, no, we're waiting for them, because they asked him, like, are you scared? Are you in fear of an attack from America? And he said, no, we're waiting for them. He said, we're waiting for them, and we're confident that we could defeat them. But at the end of the day, the only winner in this is YAHAWASHI, because they keep talking about, oh yeah, when the war ends, but they said that about Russia and Ukraine, and they also said that about Palestine and the small hats. And those wars have been going on for years now. They talking about it's going to be a couple weeks or this, that, and third. They keep pushing it back. Then it's like, oh, it's up until September, and then they're going to change it again. This ain't going to change this ain't going to stop until first people nuke each other, and then YAHAWASHI comes back. That's why the Lord said, what? This is a time of war. This is a time of war. We're in a time of war. It's been war for the last damn near 5 years now, straight. I'm not just Russia, Ukraine, and then the small hats and the Palestine, and then the Hezbollah, and then now Iran. It started with Iran a couple years back as well. And now look, and now Iran is out here wilding. Now they wilding. Now they talk about they got 1 million troops ready. They got 1 million troops ready. They said for a potential ground invasion from America, but they know that's going to happen. They can't just go to war in the air. America, I'm talking about. They can't just go to war with them just in the air, man. They say they can't win. They can't change a regime like that. They're going to have to send boots on the ground. You're going to have boots on the ground, man. It's going to have to go back to a little bit of old school of war. Yeah, they got the drones and all that, but Iran got drones too. And on top of that, you still got the whole shit going on with China and Taiwan. That might spark off any minute. So you got a lot of things taking. That's why the Lord said, man, let me get that real quick. Ecclesiastes. Oh, that's it. Oh, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, and I'm going to start at the top. Now, at the top of the chapter, the caption reads, a season for everything. And it says, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. And we're under the heaven, right? The earth is under the heaven. And it says a time to be born, obviously, and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Obviously the harvest, and when you plant seed or whatever, then the fruit grows, and then time to pluck it up, basically. But here where it gets interesting. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 3 says, a time to kill and a time to heal. But what it said, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, because Babylon is not going to be healed. It's time for Babylon to be killed. It's time for the whore to be taken down. And the whore being Babylon the Great, that great whore, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, is America. And America has met its end, and now the Lord has said it's time to kill it. It's a time to kill and a time to heal and a time to break down and a time to build up. But what's being built up? What's being built up is starting with the prophets prophesying. What's being built up is the kingdom of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI that's going to be on the earth, just like all these other kingdoms on the earth. The sons of God, their kingdom is going to be on the earth as well under the first son, YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. He about to take control. He's going to be the end of this war. Iran, America, China, Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine, all these motherfuckers, Africa, Europe, this is not going to end until YAHAWASHI comes back. Because for one, how can it end when everybody's demands, everybody's negotiations, all their deals, nobody wants to give into it? America don't want to give it to Iran. Iran don't want to give it to America. Russia don't want to give into Ukraine, vice versa, and all that. So what's going to be really the thing to end this? They're going to have to send the nukes. And that day is approaching. We still got get to the MOTB. But you see how they getting this whole technology kingdom up and running. And when they mandate that CHIP, when they mandate that mark, then we're going to know it's close. And we're getting close to it. No, this is not going to end well for America. And as a matter of fact, America is just going to end. And it's going to be you're not going to get a redo. You're not going to get another season. The Lord said that this is it. This is it for you, Esau. For Esau, the end of the world, Jacob, the beginning of it that followeth. Now is the time for your kingdom to be plucked up. Now it's time for your kingdom to be broken down and our kingdom to be built up. Just like the metaphor of plants. Your kingdom was planted. It grew. You had a kingdom. You had a domain. You had a rulership. You other nations had part in it. But now it's time for y'all to go down. And now it's time for the Israelites to come up. So read that again. So it says, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 2. And it says, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up. And what's been planted? What's been planted? The seed of the truth. But the thing about this kingdom, the world we're going to have, is going to be without end. It's going to be an immovable kingdom. It's not going to have an end. That's why the Lord specifically said, world without end, a kingdom without end. Yahawashi, immortal that he is, going to come back down. The elect are going to become immortals. The Israelites are going to then become immortals. You other nations are going to stay mortal. And then we're going to rule over you foolish mortals. You're not going to worship idols anymore. You're not going to have any of these other gods. The Lord is going to abolish. When these nations, when you see Yahawashi, you're going to know. And I know it's hard to fathom right now that, America is not going to be around. But no, it's not going to be around. Just like all these other kingdoms. These other kingdoms, they had their beginning, they had their end. But Yahawashi's kingdom, who the world called Jesus, his kingdom that's going to be on earth, ain't going to have no end. It ain't going to be plucked up. It ain't going to die. Because it's not going to be of the earth. It's going to be on as in heaven, as on earth as it is in heaven. For us. For us. Because we're not going to die. We're not going to have this sting of death. Yahawashi defeated that. Y'all don't have a God that did that for y'all. Y'all don't even have a living God. But anywho, it says a time to weeping. Sure enough, Americans are weeping. Esau is weeping. 2/3 of our people are weeping. The people that don't believe are weeping. That's why the Lord said, what? The world, they shall mourn, but you shall rejoice. Why? Because this is what we want to happen. This is what we needed to take place. And the Lord said that these things must come to pass. This must happen. They must go to war. They must bring out the chip. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It has to take place. It is written. The Lord said he declared the end from the beginning. And he said his word shall stand. All right? And it says, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. But who's laughing? Who's dancing? The elect. The true believers. Because why? Yahawashi is about to end this place, and that's why they're mourning, and that's why they're crying. That's why you look at the spirit in America is very uneasy right now, because what? They know, the people that's paying attention, they know how this might end. And they know how it's going to end. Fuck that. Everybody's getting nukes ready. Everybody's just getting more and more in a warlike mentality. Everything's getting more hateful. Everything's getting more hateful. Everything's getting more violent. Everything's getting more intense. And that's the Lord putting that spirit on the earth, and especially in Babylon the Great, which is America, because he's about to destroy it. So it's going to implode within, and then the nukes come. Okay, I'm going to jump down to verse 8. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8, and it says, a time to love, and we're not in that time right now. I mean, the elect love each other. The true believers love each other. Yahawashi loves his elect. Yahawashi loves Israel, even though he got to spank a couple of them soon. But as far as the world and the way this kingdom is going, it's not a time of love. Not a time of love. No room for love right here. And it's a time to hate, but we're in a hateful time because what? People are hating each other. Jacob hates Esau. Esau hates Jake. Esau hates himself. People hate themselves. Like it's just, you know? But it's a prideful thing though. It's a prideful thing because they can't see, like, people can't see that America just not going to exist anymore. That's hard for people to fathom. All right, but it's going to happen. And a time of war and a time of peace, and we're in a time of war. This is war. They're actually at war as we speak. The World War III is taking place as we speak. I know they haven't given the I don't know, people waiting for that actual announcement, but yo, this is World War III. It just ain't getting nuclear yet, but soon enough, it's going to get nuclear. Wait till they start bringing out the mandating the chip. That's when things are going to get in hyperdrive. The prophecies the end is going to speak louder and louder and louder and more fierce. So let me get this article real quick. Man, I'm going to make this too long. Where are we at? 10 minutes? Okay. Probably push for like 20 minutes. So this is from the Daily Express, and it reads, it says, Iran warns 1 million soldiers ready to fight U.S. as World War III fears explode. It will be hell. It says, Iran has warned Donald Trump it has 1 million fighters ready to respond if U.S. troops are sent into the country. And that's what America and Trump been talking about, sending boots on the ground. Ready to respond if U.S. troops are sent into the country, adding they will unleash hell. State-run Tasnim news agency, citing a military source, said Iran's ground fighters are becoming more enthusiastic about creating a historic hell for the Americans on Iranian soil. The source said young Iranians are applying to join the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the army, and the Basij, a paramilitary volunteer militia. They also warned the U.S. against pushing further to gain control of the Strait of Hormuz, which could result in suicide and self-destruction. Because you got to think about it. America, as big as they talking, their military don't back their talks. So they say young Iranians, man. Young Iranians are joining the 3 military branches. But yet here, nobody's trying to fight. It said the source said America wants to open the strait through suicide and self-destruction. That's fine. We are prepared for them to act on their suicide strategy and for the strait to remain closed. Tasnim reported as speculation grows about the possibility of America's historic folly of entering a ground battle on Iran's southern front. A wave of enthusiasm has formed among Iran's ground fighters to create a historic hell for the Americans on Iranian soil. You hear that? You hear that? They talk about the United States, the greatest military on earth, the greatest country on earth, right? They say they said they enthusiastic about y'all niggas to get there. What that nigga said, yo, we're waiting on them. We're waiting on them. They said, it says, Tasnim reported as speculation grows about the possibility of America's historic folly of entering a ground battle on Iran's southern front. A wave of enthusiasm has formed among Iran's ground fighters to create a historic hell for the Americans on Iranian soil. So they said they can't wait. They said they ready, they anxious. He said he noted that in addition to organizing over 1 million fighters for ground combat, a massive influx of applications from young Iranians has poured into the centers of Basij, the Revolutionary Guard Corps, and the army in recent days to participate in this fight as well. So they said they got boatload, they basically got a bunch of people signing up to join the military. But yet Americans, they ain't trying to fight. They talk about, oh, it's in the war, all that, this, that, and the third. But they said they said they ready to fight. They said they can't. They said they enthusiastic. And hell, man, hey, man, it's about to go there. Hey, this is it. This is World War III. It said this comes as the U.S. revealed it drafted a 15-point ceasefire plan to bring the war to an end. Why y'all? I thought y'all won. I thought you won the war, America. It said, which includes stipulations such as dismantling Iran's nuclear program and effectively handing over control of the Strait of Hormuz. Nigga, what? It says, however, Special Cabinet Envoy Steve Witkoff said during a cabinet meeting on Thursday that it became quite clear that Iran wouldn't agree to a deal that fulfilled Washington's objectives. You're damn right. Handed over control to you? What? And that's Esau. That's a great seeking who he can devour, but you can't devour the Iranians, man. And that's the end of the article. Hold on, so let me get Joel real quick. And end it off with that. Go right to the point. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9, and it says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hook into spears, let the weak say I'm strong." That's what Iran is doing right now. They're gathering up, they're assembling. Mighty men are waking up, coming forward. They said they're enthusiastic about the ground invasion from America. And here it is, you got Americans still dwelling carelessly, man. Like, this shit ain't about to be the ugliest shit ever. Remember, this is going to be the war to end all wars. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hook into spears, let the weak say I'm strong. That's their missiles. Nuclear capabilities, all that. Nuclear program, bombs away. And it's already taking place. Verse 11, it says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen." And remember, Iran is a heathens, Elamites. "And gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord." And that's what the Lord is doing. He's putting that spirit back on all these nations to go to war. Because the Lord said, what? Like I read in Ecclesiastes, this is a time of war. And not only a time of war, but this is going to be this is going to be the ugliest, bloodiest, most violent, most casualty war ever. Out of all the wars in the past, remember, this is going to be the war to end all wars. This is going to be the war where the Lord finally judges that serpent, that wicked seed, the Edomites. The judgment of the people of his curse. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. Esau's ruling right now. Those elites, those Rothschilds, they're Edomites. Trump, Witkoff, Hegseth, all that, they're Edomites. Putin, Edomites. Ukraine, Zelensky, Edomites. All of them are Edomites. And now the judgment, and now the war has started. And soon enough, the judgment is going to go forth, and everybody going to know where it's coming from, because YAHAWASHI about to step back on the earth, man. Speaking of which, verse 12, and it says, verse 12 says, "Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." And that's where this stuff is taking place, over there in the east. And who's numero uno that's fighting against the Iranians? Israel. The land Israel, but the people are Edomites. And it's begun. It has begun. We're going on almost a month now. And look, they talk about country about to run out of oil since they closed the Strait of Hormuz. And they talk about closing another strait, I heard. But I don't know how much, you know what I'm saying, that's about to, come to fruition. But I heard talk that Iran talk about closing another strait. And you got Trump, you got America begging other allies, begging other countries to help open up the Strait of Hormuz. But hey, man, prepare war. And they're prepared. They've been preparing for war, and now they're at war. And it started. And on top of that, now you got more digital currency chip, more of a technocracy world coming about, which means what? The MOTB shall surely be here soon. It surely will be here soon. It's here, but the mandate of getting our MOTB. And that's when we're going to know that. And that's when this devil is really going to be at the end. So, with that, Lord willing, is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the Apostles of Israel, a.k.a. the Apostles of Great Millstone. And peace and love always to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom.